I know you're a busy person, so I decided to plan your entire college wrestling weekend for you. These are the 5 duels that you cannot miss. Let's stop stalling and start talking wrestling. What's going on, wrestling fans? My name is Josiah, and welcome to Fanco Wrestling, your source for college wrestling news and discussion. And on this week's Fanco 5, we're starting off with an honorable mention with the Chippewa Challenge, which will be taking place in Central Michigan as they host Campbell, American, CSU, Bakersfield. It's going to be an exciting matchup between these Central Michigan alums. It's kind of an innovative, fun idea between these programs now that all of these coaches who originally stemmed from Central Michigan are now coaching D1 programs. It's a neat way to get back together and to have some friendly but fierce competition. I think they have some sort of bet between all the coaches, which will be fun to watch out for. You can watch that Sunday, which will be taking place on ESPN Plus starting at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The next duel that you got to watch is starting Friday night at 7 p.m. That's Ohio State and Michigan, which I'm super thrilled for, and we're actually doing commentary for that on the channel starting off Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can tune in to the Big Ten Network as well as Fanco Wrestling for commentary. Just join in for a fun time of chatting and just full commentary of the match with guest hosts, which I'm excited to reveal tomorrow night. Make sure you tune in for that. This is a matchup between two top 10 teams, number 7 Ohio State and number 3 Michigan. Michigan's, second match back since really having their full squad in the lineup, which is, just exciting. 2 undefeated teams. One of them is going to come out with a loss, right? Malik Heilsman and Nick Suriano at 125 should be a fun one. Malik's always fun to watch, but Suriano just his, second, third match back so far this season. And then at 165, Carson Karchula and Cam Amin should be a good one. Another tough test for Karchula with All-American Cam Amin, but a spot for Amin to prove that he deserves to be ranked ahead of Karchula as well. At 174, Ethan Smith and Logan Massa should be a really fun one as well, just because, these two guys, Smith has been just pushing the limit on these guys all year, but Massa just a couple matches back into this season, and Smith's going to be somebody who can definitely push him in his own house. This match is taking place at Ohio State. And then I want to also just show you this cool video that I asked a wrestling fan, Corby. I reached out to him and asked him what his thoughts were, one of the biggest wrestling fans I know. Here's what he had to say.
Hi guys, it's Corby. Josiah from Fanco reached out, wanted me to give you some picks about Michigan, Ohio State, Friday night. Couple matches I'm looking forward to. 174 pounds, got Ethan Smith. We got Massa. Gimme Smith. 184 pounds, Amin Romero. Another match I'm looking forward to. Give me Amin. I got a 7-3 duel for Michigan with 3 major decisions for Michigan, 24 for Michigan. I got Sasso with a major. I got 24-10 Michigan Friday night. Everybody tune in. Thanks.
Well, thanks for your intake, Corby. I really appreciate that. 24-10 is what he has this dual meet at. I have it at 22-12, so very similar scores. We'll see if Ohio State can end up pulling anything off. The second duel you got to be watching this weekend is Arizona State and Pitt, a top 25 team in Pitt Panthers. They're taking on a top 10 team in Arizona State Sun Devils, and Pitt's coming off of a rough loss to Michigan. Arizona State also has a loss to Michigan this season, so it'll be fun to see these two teams go head-to-head. We know that Arizona State wrestled in that Michigan dual meet. It wasn't a full dual meet on FloWrestling, but there were a couple of pretty tough matches. While Pitt, I'll tell you what, when they wrestled Michigan, they had some really exciting upsets. Like, remember Cole Matthews beating Stefan Miocic at 141. That's what made Matthews the wrestler of the week on Fanco Wrestling. One of the matchups that happened on FloWrestling was Mikhail McGee beating Dylan Ragusin. And this weekend at 133, he's going to have Mickey Philippi, a top 10 wrestler who unfortunately was defensive fouled earlier this season. And, it was actually a good call by the ref, in my opinion, but this is his chance to really climb back up in the rankings if he can defeat a Miguel McGee. Also at 165 is Anthony Valencia and Jake Wenzel, a really exciting matchup at 165 that I'm looking forward to. And one that I'm looking even more forward to, potentially, is going to be Cordell Norfleet and Nino Bonacorsi, a top 10 matchup. I mean, Norfleet's at number 10, Bonacorsi's at number 9, had a couple losses this season, recently to Greg Bolzak of Rutgers, and Bolzak has another tough match coming up this weekend, which I'll get to in a second. Now, Arizona State, not only do they have Pitt on Friday at 7 o'clock p.m. on the ACC Network Extra, but you can also watch Arizona State taking on Princeton on ESPN Plus on Saturday at noon. Their trip to the East Coast is filled with some really good dual meets. Another good dual meet, if you are a FloWrestling subscriber, is going to be Iowa State in Wyoming, which is taking place Friday at 9 p.m. So your Friday night, just sit on the couch and you have a full night of wrestling to watch. Just the entire night. Also on FloWrestling this weekend is Navy and Lehigh taking place on Saturday. Just another fun duel to look forward to. That's the battle for the EIWA. This, of course, Iowa State and Wyoming, is the battle for the Big 12. Just a really good top 20 matchup. One of the exciting dual meets that I'm looking for, or matchups that I'm looking forward to, is at 197 with Younger Bastida and Stephen Buchanan. Bastida already this year, he's climbed the ranks and upset Jacob Warner. That was a huge upset. He'll be testing Buchanan for sure, who's one of Wyoming's best wrestlers on their squad. The fourth dual meet you got to be tuning into is definitely got to be a Big Ten meet. And no, it's not Iowa Northwestern, which I would say be watching that on Friday. I believe that's Big Ten Network X or Big Ten Network Plus. But on the Big Ten Network on Sunday, you can watch Wisconsin and Minnesota. Number 9, Wisconsin versus number 14, Minnesota, taking place at 2 o'clock. Now, Wisconsin just beat Rutgers and Northwestern. Both of these teams, or Wisconsin at least, is undefeated. Minnesota has a couple losses so far this year. And, man, they can really prove themselves if they beat Minnesota, who's just another impressively top-tier team. Some of the matchups I'm looking forward to: at 125, Eric Barnett against Pat McKee. McKee pinned Barnett last year twice. I think he beat him 3 times in total, so Barnett will be looking to get some revenge. Dean Hamidi at 165 taking on Andrew Sparks, a top 20 wrestler, is a good challenge for the freshman. And at heavyweight, which is the match that I hope they do end on, is Trent Helger and Gable Stevenson. Everybody, no matter where Gable travels, likes seeing the Gable in their house. They like seeing an Olympic champion wrestle back in college wrestling. It's just so much fun to watch him back on the mat. And then the fifth dual meet you have to watch is also a Big Ten dual meet, and that's Rutgers and Penn State, taking place Sunday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the Big Ten Network. Is it Big Ten, or I think it may be actually ESPN, they're wrestling. Rutgers also wrestles Illinois on Friday, and Nick Lee versus Sebastian Rivera. After Nick Lee's coming off that tough dual meet against Illinois, he'll be taking on national champion Nick Lee, and I cannot wait for that to go down, because last time these two wrestled, it was pretty darn close. The last time was the national semifinals when Nick Lee ended up winning 9-3, and a lot of those points came kind of in the last couple minutes of that match, and then before that it was sudden victory matchup where Nick Lee won over Rivera in the Big Ten semifinals. Now, a couple other matches I'm excited for here: Aaron Brooks going up against John Poznansky. Now, Brooks majored Poznansky the last time they wrestled, and Poznansky will be looking to find a way to upset Brooks. Brooks will be looking to continue that bonus point percentage pace that he's been just crushing so far this season. Another great matchup is at 197 between Max Dean and Greg Bolzak. Like I said earlier, Bolzak has already beaten national finalist Nino Bonacorsi. So imagine if he beats another national finalist in Max Dean. That would be a great look for him, and an exciting weekend of college wrestling. So much happening. Yes, Penn State Rutgers is on ESPN. A lot of these matches on different platforms. So I want to say make sure that you are tuning into them. Remember, that show is 7 o'clock live commentary for Ohio State and Michigan. And you can get your dual meet score sheets for that match, as well as all the other huge duels happening this weekend. All you do is you fill in your prediction. It's totally free. I have it linked up down in the description below. That'll take you there straight to your free download. Enjoy the weekend.